Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be taking a look at the Mafex Gambit Jim Lee edition. Gambit is a member of the X-Men team, preferably to the 1990s. He was very prominent in the X-Men animated series, which pretty much ran from 92, 93-ish to 96, 97. Definitely a staple in my childhood. I did not come across Gambit in the comic books. I came across Gambit with the animated series, so my familiarity is with him. I actually had to go back in the comics and see who he actually was. I still do not own that comic to this day. I seen it in Second and Charles. I should have picked it up. But basically, we'll go over the box first. In the front, we got the graphic art. Let me sit this back a little bit. Okay, we got Gambit, X-Men, Marvel, showing a 6-inch on the left here, 131. That's the issue of the figure from Mafex. Flip it on the side here, we got Gambit, X-Men, some nice graphics there. Set that back a little bit, you can see the X-Men. Lift it up, pretty much just a action figure photography of him on the side. Also in the back, that's actually the action figure that they posed up for the artwork there. And you can see pretty much his accessories that come with him, like a flipping blaze of cards, just some more kinetic energy. He has his trusty staff there, and this was what's going to make this figure so much different from Hasbro. That wired jacket. Like I said, I hate a hard tail on a figure and a hard cape that just, you pretty much made a brick. Even though the figure can move and is very articulated, when that cape doesn't move, which is a very big centerpiece of what that figure is, then it's pretty much a brick. It's not going to move either. You can move the arms and legs all you want to. You're not going to be able to pose it the way you need to. And this right here is looking like it's going to give me finally the effect. I haven't even opened this figure yet. I don't know what it's about. So Mafex, I've been happy with it. I've been collecting it for about a year, so not long. I've heard horror stories from 4 years ago of guys back then, but I don't know nothing about that. I know they make phenomenal figures. They cost a bit, but I love them. So let's go ahead and flip it around. We got more graphics here. This is a pretty cool graphic in for boxing right here. I think that's pretty dope. So yeah, Gambit. Let's check this guy out. Let's get him cracked open and see what he's about. All right, let's get to the real star of the show. And the real star of the show is the trench coat. The trench coat is one of the best piece of soft goods I've ever seen on an action figure. And it's all because of the wired capability inside the coat. The wire pretty much runs through all of the trim of the coat. It goes up the split seam in the back, and then it comes down through here, goes all the way around through here. I'm going to flip it around so you can see the rest of the coat. The wire also comes up through this part, and then it goes all the way up to the collar. So it actually gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of different pose moves. And if anybody knows Gambit, aka Remy LeBeau, you know his coat pretty much makes him. And what's also a cool part about this action figure is the coat can come off. I'm pretty sure 99% of the toy lines that came out in the past, Gambit is stuck to his coat. You always want to see what Gambit looks like up under his coat and his outfit, which is just emerged with beautiful colorways. But the coat makes this. The coat, the toughness of it, almost, it just feels like canvas or something. It's that Crown Royal bag effect I told you guys I was looking for. It goes way past that. It's better than any Mafex cape that ever could have been made, man. I mean, this coat right here basically can be sold by itself for $25. I mean, it's that good. The coat will outlast the figure. I'm almost willing to bet money on that just because of the toughness of it, man. It just looks phenomenal. Look, it looks like it's doing its own thing right here, like Doctor Strange's cape. I mean, but right here, it's like almost like a little metal button. They put a lot of time and detail into this thing, man. They knew that for the most important part, if you're gonna pay $100 for a figure, his coat better be an action figure within itself, and they did that. They nailed that. Hands down, this is the best Gambit I've ever picked up. Alright, so basically we have Gambit without his trench coat, which is a rare thing to see. As you can see here, he has beautiful colorways and silver linings all through this thing. It looks like a purplish metallic paint for his chest here, and as you can see, the royal blue with the engravings. The silver line is going through the shoulder piece here. I mean, it just looks great. He's a good-looking figure. They put the time and effort into this, and this is engraved also. This isn't painted lines. This is pretty much where they took it and they sculpted it. So there we go. That looks awesome right there. Everything is engraved along that neckline. Neck looks a little long, but I guess that's so he can stretch and maneuver and do, you know, what he wants. As you can see how the head rocks. He can do anything he wants. Gambit is an agile character. When most of the time with his poses, it's almost going to be like Spider-Man. He has a lot of kicking out poses, a lot of leg up in the air poses. As you can see here, the hair is like a brown brunette color, which has a black wash in it. This is the best looking hair I've ever seen on Gambit. He has the purplish paint coming down on the side here also. And these little etchings right here, these are all engraved. So that's not paint. They actually are painted, but they're actually sculpted and etched in there on the side. Silver paint for the boots, which looks amazing. And all the paint apps on here look awesome. I mean, everything lines up right. Everything is perfect. Like I said, this is the best Gambit I've ever owned or purchased, which I haven't owned too many. He's not a popular character as far as when it comes to making toys. They're gonna always do the Wolverine, Cyclops, blase blah, Magneto, this one and that one. Gambit's probably about the 9th or 10th man on the totem pole when it comes to action figures, maybe lower than that. But he is a popular figure. So pretty much, man, we got him spinning around right here. You can see his colorway. I mean, he just looks good. He looks amazing. As far as articulation, let's go over the head. Like I showed you before, his head it's on a swivel, literally. I mean, he can do anything he wants. He can move his head just like me and you can move our head and neck. As far as arm wise, I mean, with Mafex, man, you're gonna get the best of the best. He can basically clap both his hands. He can clap his hands like LL Cool J did in the beginning of the Doing It Wild video. So he definitely can get busy. As far as his legs wise, of course, double jointed, pinless tech, which Mafex is going to do. You're going to pay $100 for a figure. You expect that. Can he kick his own butt? Not quite. It kind of hinders a little bit. As far as his hips go, I just noticed this. He has kind of like a drop down effect like a G.I. Joe. Like his hip comes down a little bit. I don't know if that's just the looseness, because Mafex, to me, their legs are always kind of loose. But I can push it back up just like a G.I. Joe there. So I don't know if that's going to become a problem in the long term or not, but I hope not. As far as his arm here, double jointed, he definitely can touch his own shoulder. I mean, that is amazing. Any Mafex toy, it's gonna move amazing. Like, he definitely can put the money phones to the ear right there. Maybe I'll do a shot one day with him with the money phones. And as far as his ab, this is what everybody is crazy over the Spider-Man retro line for. Just because simply of this right here, this swivel right here with the crunch down, and then you look up, can make a figure do anything. I mean, that makes a figure, an agile figure like him, that does wonders for that figure. That ab crunch, where most toys, they have that line right here in the abdominal, I mean, that's cool. But when you have that swivel right here, that ab swivel, that makes the world a difference. That turns it into something else. That turns it into almost like a real life figure. He's gonna move like a real person, and you can get some nice shots. When the Power Ranger line from Hasbro has that, and the Spider-Man retro, not all of them. The one everybody's crazy over, and it looks like the new black suit one has that swivel effect. And then the way his neck moves, his head came off. That makes a world of difference. Like a Marvel Legend cannot really do that easily, not unless they have that ab swivel and waist swivel on the figure. So, like I said, Mafex is always going to nail it when it comes to articulation. The coat feels like it will outlast him. Even though he's not like you're gonna pick him up and just break him, but you do need to be careful when it comes to moving them and just the durability of him. But other than that, man, he's totally worth it, man. As far as articulation, he can do anything you want if you just take the time to sit down and pose him. This one has a silver lining around the chest guard. This one doesn't. This one has a silver lining here. This one doesn't. As far as the boots wise, you can see this beautiful metallic color. Almost like the boots are made out of aluminium steel. These boots right here are kind of like on some bluish type color. It doesn't look like they're metal. And of course, this one, and this is not a bad figure right here. I mean, it's $20, so you can definitely get your money's worth in it. And I served it as my Gambit, but as you can see, you cannot take the coat off because the arms are sculpted as the jacket. There is no other arm up under here. This is the arm, so you can't take the coat off. And then the coat is stiff. It's pliable, don't get me wrong, but it limits the mobility for an agile character like this. So of course, I mean, you're gonna pay significantly more for this one, about $80 more. But this is, if you can take care of it, this would be the only Gambit you'll ever need in your entire life. And I'm not even messing. I don't even know how they could even do one even better than this. I guess make it a little bit more sturdier. But for the flexibility, so it can move like a real human, it's only so sturdy you can make it. This one right here, you can throw it through a window. This one is going to break on the window. And that's basically a difference. But of course, this is aimed more towards adult collectors. This is for a child. Even though adults buy these figures, Hasbro is made for a child with the durability, which a child could still break it, but it's made a little bit more tougher. And then they're a company, so they have to make their figures for the cost that they got. They can't just really put a lot into it, or they'd be going bankrupt. As you can see here, the effects on this one has that classic Hasbro molded to his hand type card effect. Which, hey, I mean, if it'll work, some people can freak it. This one right here comes with its own effect. As you've seen in the video before it came on, this is a whole separate piece right here of plastic. This is a small action figure. Let me set these guys back so you can see the full effect of this thing, which you've seen it in the video before. That's why I wanted to kind of show you what Gambit could really do, how you can really get busy with him. But this whole guard piece right here, which is you put like light on it, start putting more light on it, it starts lighting up and really showing what it do. I'm probably sure it's really popping right now because I put my light in a little bit closer. So let me put this one down. Here's the second one right here. It's a little bit smaller, but as you can see, as I put the more light on, look how it starts to light up. It really starts to let you show what it can do, man. And it came with its own stand, which is right here, which because it's a heavy piece. This Gambit is a very delicate figure, so he's not going to be able to, if you set him up right, he can hold it on his own, but more than likely he's not going to be able to hold it up on his own. And then also he came with a stand also, man. Mafex has those Bambi leg effects, like I told you. After a while, I don't know how he's going to hold up, but hopefully he does. Also here, he has another little small card he can hold between the two hands. Two fingers, I'm sorry. And then he has, which I used in the video earlier, he has the two card effects right here. He also has another head sculpt without the, like the grin, like a little more like of a solemn look with the, wouldn't necessarily say a blank expression, but kind of mum. You know, just kind of a regular face. Gambit wasn't a guy who's really hype. He's really cool. He's really laid back. He's a thief. He was a thief. And basically a street criminal before he got with the X-Men. Just to give you a little bit of history on him, if you don't know who Gambit is, he's a card player. He's from New Orleans. I don't know if I said that right. I think you said New Orleans. They say it kind of like in one word. So he listens to a lot of Master P, a lot of Cash Money, a lot of UNLV. He listens to a lot of bounce music. So he a dirty white boy. He from the Red River mud. You know what I'm saying? So he's from New Orleans. So that's his origin. He has a deep Cajun accent. So you know, and his Cajun accents, which they still speak broken French, like yeah, and things of that nature. So real country boy, but he was a thief. And one of the X-Men episodes, they was doing a flashback for him and his group that he ran with, you know, they were a criminal gang, and then he just happened to stumble upon the X-Men. But his powers is kinetic energy. He can charge up anything and blast it off into like almost like a bomb, almost kind of like Jubilee, but she can't transfer that energy. He transfers that energy to anything he touches, and his preferable weapon is a deck of cards and his trusty staff. which I still have the ball, which has the staff hand still locked onto it, so I just don't lose them. So he comes with 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interchangeable hands. Let me make sure I got that correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might be 7. He has a large array of hands, basically, to do what he do. And when you're dealing with a card person who handles card decks, he has to be nice with his fingers and his hands. So they gave him a good amount of hands. And as you can see here, those are the glow effects that you put on the end of his bow here. Which I'm gonna take his bow out so you can see it. And then you basically just pluck the bow on. And like I said, the video at the beginning, I'm gonna start doing that now. Start doing a lot of action figure photography just to show you the playability, so I don't have to really explain it to you as much. I'm not being lazy. It's harder to do the pictures. I'd rather show you than talk about it. I'd rather show you how he moves. So he's a great figure. I'm gonna give him a 10. He's an A+ figure. I don't really see any flaws on here. They knocked it out the park with his coat. And that's a major factor. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mafex, number 131. Gambit, a.k.a. Remy LEBEAU. A+ figure. Best Gambit I ever brought in my life. Not even going to even say no more about it, man. If you wanna get them and try them out, try them out. You can buy 2, buy 2. You buy this Gambit, you won't have to buy another Gambit again. This will be the only one you have. Moves great. The coat is better than any cape Mafex ever made. The best Gambit coat. The coat alone is worth 25 bucks. And I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this video helped you out in making a choice if you wanted to buy him or not. I hope you liked the action figure photography in the beginning. Yeah! And we're going to go with the running theme. When you step out the door in the morning, be a person of integrity. Until the next time, God bless.